Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cobold, here on a snowy night in Denver, Colorado.
Snowy.
Been snowing the last couple nights, actually. Joined by my guy, Max Faulkner, out there in Nashville, Tennessee. Max, I noticed a new Purdue shirt. Was that a early Christmas present from mommy?
I'll tell you right now, I've had this since college. So not
don't
new.
recognize it.
I don't know if I wore it here. You're right. Right. It's been hanging in the closet. I wear it around the house very often, but not on this podcast. Well, I'm wearing it today. Go Boilers, boys. Go Boilers. My goodness gracious. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Cole Breezy, we are 8 subscribers away from breaking 200.
Really?
200.
Really?
We started this baby a year ago. We didn't start posting our videos until January-ish, right? The new year.
Yep.
And we're already almost at 200 subscribers. I got to say,
awesome.
The support is miraculous.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you, everybody. And please, tell your friends, tell your family, spread it around. Let's try to get 8 more subscribers before the new year.
Ooh.
That's an end of the year resolution before we do New Year's resolutions.
That's a fun goal right there, Max. That's a fun goal.
We got it.
Anything else? What else been going on? What's new?
Oh man, I wish it was snowing. Okay, I want a white Christmas. I like the snow. I like it. I like building snowmans. I see. You see the snowman pillow in the back there. Okay,
nice.
Little Santa and Mrs. Claus standing up there.
Very nice.
I love the winter time. I love a white Christmas. So you guys are having it lucky over there. You don't like the snow, Cole Breezy?
I like it. It's fine. I grew up in northern Indiana, getting plenty of snowy Christmases, so that's nice. Good thing about Denver is the next day the sun it mostly melts most of the snow away, so you don't have to really deal with the sucky things about the snow. So yeah, it's snowing right now. It looks nice, and we'll see if it stays. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Max, we got a big podcast here this week. We're hitting multiple sports. We're hitting our usual NFL talk at the end. We're hitting college basketball in the middle. That's definitely the meat and potatoes this week, as it's going to be more and more as we go along.
All the way to March, baby.
College basketball is our favorite. It's really heating up right now. We're gonna talk a little baseball because there was news about our favorite player, but we got to start in college football with maybe the most prestigious award in all of college athletics, the Heisman. The Heisman released their winner this week. It was LSU quarterback Jayden Daniels. Okay, let's talk about him first. He spent his first 3 seasons at Arizona State, his last 2 at LSU. He completed 72% of his passes. That was 7th in the nation. For 3,812 yards, that was 3rd in the nation. To go with 40 passing touchdowns and only 4 picks.
Okay.
Those 40 passing touchdowns were tied for the most in the nation with Bo Nix of Oregon. This is where Jayden Daniels set himself apart. He added 1,134 rushing yards and 10 scores on the ground.
Okay.
The numbers were there. The highlights were great. But the LSU Tigers, they went 9-3. Okay. Let's talk about this. The Tigers went 9-3, led by Brian Kelly, who left Notre Dame high and dry in the middle of the night. We won't get into that, but LSU, they lost by 3 touchdowns to Florida State.
Yeah.
They gave up 55 points in a loss to Ole Miss, and they lost by 2 touchdowns to Alabama. Those were their 3 losses. Let's go look at the other candidates. Runner-up for the Heisman was Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr., the IU transfer. They went undefeated in the Pac-12, 13-0. Michael Penix, he only completed 66% of his passes. That was a little lower, but he led the nation in passing yards with 4,218.
Nice.
33 passing touchdowns, 9 picks, a little bit more. Didn't get it done. Was a non-threat on the ground. He had minus 18 rushing yards on the season. 3 touchdowns, but minus 18 rushing yards.
Okay.
Let's look at Bo Nix of Oregon. They went 11-2. barely missed out to Washington in that Pac-12 championship. Bo Nix, he led the nation in completion percentage at 77%. He was second in the nation in yards with 4,145. He was tied with Jayden Daniels for most passing touchdowns with 40. Only had 3 picks, 6 more tutties on the ground with 228 rushing yards. Max, let's throw it to you here. Knowing these numbers of these top 3 that I just broke down, did the voters get this year's Heisman selection correct?
Real quick, Bo Nix had 6 more touchdowns than Daniels, so 16 rushing touchdowns.
So 6 more touchdowns on the ground on top of his 40 passing touchdowns. Jayden Daniels had 10 rushing touchdowns. Bo Nix had 6.
Got it. Okay. Oh man, Bo Nix is a big name, but if you're gonna pick a guy, I don't mind the Jayden Daniels pick because he had higher stats. They're probably what was Oregon? Where were they?
11-2.
2. Yeah.
11-2.
So I mean, technically they definitely had a better season. SEC is very tough division. Pac-12 is a good division too. Don't get me wrong, but come on, SEC's they're
no
when
doubt.
you think football, college football, it's the SEC, baby. It's the SEC. Okay. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with the pick. I usually like to have a little controversy here or speculation, but I got no problem with this pick. This guy with 1,000 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. Oh my goodness. Along with 40 passing touchdowns, so only 3 picks.
So
my goodness,
50 total touchdowns, 4 picks, 1,134 rushing yards. Jayden Daniels, Joe Burrow, he just won the Heisman at LSU in 2019. So LSU might be doing a little something here with their quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I just want to throw in the 4th guy, the other guy in the room, Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State.
Yeah.
Probably going to be the big dog on a lot of wide receiver boards come April. So we'll be talking about him. Anything else you got on Jayden Daniels? I think that his legs definitely gave him the upper hand. I got to agree with the selection. Yeah, LSU has 3 losses, but those numbers are crazy, passing and rushing. Anything else on Jayden Daniels and his Heisman?
Also, those 3 losses aren't bad losses. Florida State is outstanding. They were
13-0.
Undefeated. Alabama's in the Final Four. Ole Miss is always there. Sure. Like they always make a bowl game. Okay, so these losses are, and that's kind of like an in-state rivalry game, isn't that? And they like a cross-state thing. So the only question I have, Go Breezy, is what bowl game is LSU in, and who are they playing?
That's a good question there, Max. And that gives us a good opportunity here to mention that this Saturday, the bowls are actually starting. But LSU, they got a big bowl. Let's find them here. They're going to be playing a little bit later in the bowl season. A lot of bowls we've never heard of.
So many.
The Tigers, led by Ryan Kelly and Jayden Daniels, they're going to be playing in the Relia Quest Bowl against Wisconsin. 7-5, the Badgers out of Wisconsin. That one's going to be on New Year's Day.
Nice.
ESPN2 at 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Oh, I love a little New Year's Day football.
Moving along this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got to talk about one of our favorite players in all of sports, Shohei Ohtani. This past summer, we gave him about 5 minutes a week with a little Showtime with Shohei segment. And now we got to talk about him again.
Yeah.
Because the two-way star just signed a 10-year, $700 million contract to play for the Los Dodgers, damn it. That damn fucking Dodgers.
I don't real quick, sorry. I sorry I had to cut you off because it's so frustrating.
It's worked up.
Any other team, honestly, any other team other than the Yankees, 2 teams it's the Dodgers and the Yankees. Other than that, could have signed with anyone else, and I would have been like, fuck yes. Signs with the Dodgers. I'm like, oh my, they already have an all-star team. it's just so annoying to see these teams that have so much money that they can just go buy their players. But the funny thing is, they still can't win. Fuck the Dodgers.
This contract makes the 29-year-old Ohtani the highest paid athlete in the world. He passes Mike Trout as the highest paid baseball player, as Trout's contract was only worth $426 million. Shohei is coming off his second AL MVP season with the Angels, where he spent 6 seasons with the club. Over the last 3 years, Shohei has recorded 124 homers, 290 ribbies, and batted .277, while going 34-16 as a pitcher on the mound, recording 542 strikeouts to go along with a 2.84 ERA. Max, give me your thoughts on first those stats and the $700 million contract that Shohei Ohtani has signed with the Dodgers.
The question is, when you hear those stats, is he a better hitter or a better pitcher? That is literally, I have no clue, because those stats are unbelievable. Any pitcher that has those stats, Cy Young Award winner. Any hitter who has those stats, MVP. And that's why he is the MVP, because he does both. All right. $700 million. Oh my goodness. Well worth it. Well, he is worth every penny. Okay. This is a player that, again, we have never seen in our lifetime. And for the people that don't like baseball, the people with the short attention spans, all the kids out there today, you're missing out, because you're missing the highest paid player in the world, because you can't sit your ass down and actually watch a game or go to a game. No, you got to be on your phones. You got to be playing video games. Yeah, you can't go outside anymore. Okay, let's go masturbate inside of the bathroom and then go.
Whoa. All
right. I'm going a little too far. I'm getting flustered. Shohei Ohtani deserves some respect, damn it.
Hell yeah, he does.
So go ahead, Cobreezy. Go ahead.
He joins these Dodgers. They got MVPs already, Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. You know the apparel website Fanatics? You've heard of Fanatics. Ohtani set the all-time record for the website with sales within 48 hours. So those Dodgers jerseys are flying off the shelves. Shohei, he unfortunately won't pitch next year because he just had his second Tommy John surgery in September.
Damn it.
That torn UCL. The Angels, it's reported that they netted some $10 to $20 million a year in revenue from Ohtani-related in-stadium and on-air advertising. Max, he's going to be worth 2 to 3 times that much for the LA Dodgers. The Dodgers, they're going to be the face of next season's baseball year, the Summer Classic. Are you going to pick them to win it all right now?
No, I'm not. Good. Because they'll win 108 games and then they'll go to the playoffs and they can't figure it out because their pitching always is mediocre. Their bullpen always sucks. I know this because I lived in LA for 8 years. I have clients that I'm still training to this day that tell me what they're doing. And they already told me, they're like, oh, it's great that we signed Shohei, but that didn't improve our pitching. We already had hitting. But anyway, you expect them to be in the playoffs. Yes, they're definitely a contender. Anyone with Shohei Ohtani. That's why Shohei went there. It's because it's an all-star team. He wants to win. I get it. A lot of money. But let's talk about this contract real quick, Cobreezy, because there's something about this that's just unheard of. Little interesting to me. So Shohei Ohtani will receive just $20 million of his $700 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers over the next 10 years. So he'll receive $2 million a year for 10 years to make $20 million in 10 years. But then once it hits 2034, going on through the 43 season, he'll make his $680 million after that.
Unheard of.
Yes, never heard of this. And I find this almost insulting.
I don't know. His agent came out and said, Shohei's a unique player, so he needs a unique deal. So I don't know. He's deferring his money until later. Guess he doesn't need it right now. I don't know. I've never heard of it.
Maybe. I guess you're right. Maybe he already makes enough from endorsements and
Yeah,
maybe he made a lot from the Angels as well. So,
something new.
I guess I guess so. I guess it's more of a retirement situation. It's just interesting to me. I don't know. I have yet to actually have a straight up opinion about it. Maybe this is more respect to Shohei Ohtani because he just wants to play baseball and he's less focused on the money until his later years where he's going to retire. It's just interesting. But hey, as long as he's on the field and he's playing and we get to watch him, I guess at the end of the day, that's all we care about, huh?
We'll definitely be talking about him a lot next summer, giving him about a weekly segment. So he's our favorite player. I loved going to see him with you in Anaheim. That was a great time. So we both said it. We wish he would have stayed in Anaheim. A lot of teams were reported to be in the run for him. Blue Jays, Giants, Cubbies. But Dodgers won out. Congratulations to the Dodgers for having $700 million to give to one guy.
Yeah. The good news for you though, Cobrizi, they are in the Rockies division, so you can see Shohei Ohtani more often than not.
Forgot about that. Forgot about that. That's gonna be fun. I'll be there next year. You can count me in. One of those Dodgers games. You can count me in.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Moving into college basketball this week
on
the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast. This is our favorite sport, the meat and potatoes of the pod this week. Before we get into what we got to talk about, I got a fun fact for you. This is from ESPN's John Gassaway. You ain't going to believe this one.
Uh-oh.
Each of the last 20 seasons, a team ranked in the top 12 of the Week 6 AP poll. We're in Week 6 right now. Let me say it again. We're in Week 6 right now. Each of the last 20 seasons, a team ranked in the top 12 of the Week 6 AP poll has gone on to win the national championship.
Okay.
I can't believe it. Had to go back and look at some things. 20 consecutive seasons, a team ranked in the top 12 of the Week 6 AP poll has gone on to win the national championship. Give me your thoughts on that.
It's hard. It's hard to determine that. Just thinking 20 years in the making. That's that's the first 4 seeds. So 3 seeds. Sorry, first 3 seeds. Yeah, I mean, I guess it does make sense. But it just goes to show you, everybody, that it's 1, 2, or 3 seeds that are winning the championship.
This is top 12 in Week 6. So these aren't necessarily 1, 2, or 3 seeds. UConn was a 7 seed and won the championship, but they were in top 12 in Week 6.
Okay. Got it. It's interesting.
Flabbergasting. It's flabbergasting. Let's get into our AP poll reaction where we bounce around a couple teams here. But before we get into that, we got 7 undefeated teams remaining in America in Division I basketball. How many of them can you give me, Max, out of 7?
Arizona, Houston, I'm stumped.
Big 12. Another team in the Big 12. 2 more teams in the Big 12. There's 3 teams from the Big 12.
Shit. Oklahoma. Yeah. Okay. Shit.
You're
Kansas State.
You're disrespecting this head coach right now. You're disrespecting him.
Oh, Baylor. Okay. Yeah.
The Baylor Bears.
Sorry. Slept on Baylor for sure. Baylor's a good team. Very, very good. What else you got for me, Cobrizi? Because I'm obviously drawing a stump.
Got a surprise team we're going to talk about in Clemson. Clemson's still undefeated.
That is surprising.
James Madison is now ranked. They beat Michigan State earlier in the season.
They've been ranked. They've been ranked since they beat Michigan State, and they'd stayed there, and they're only going up. They keep moving up. Actually, they went down. I'm sorry, they went down a couple, but that's just disrespectful. They're 9-0.
We'll see about the Dukes of James Madison, but our last team that's undefeated, not yet ranked. Ole Miss.
Oh.
Yeah. Remaining number one this week in the AP poll was Arizona. They received 62 out of 63 first place votes after they kicked Wisconsin's ass by 25. Yeah. That was a smack, and yeah. we previewed that last week. Mm-hmm. Both got that one right. Let's start here with the Kansas Jayhawks, number 2 in the AP poll. They won last week's border war against Missouri, 73-64. 4 guys had double figures. Kevin McCullough and KJ Adams both had 17 points. Let's look at KJ Adams. You know, we talk about McCullough enough. We talk about DeJuan Harris, Hunter Dickinson. Let's talk about KJ Adams. He had 13 points, 4 boards, 3 assists in this one. Sorry. He's averaging 13 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. He's shooting 68% from the floor. You know about KJ Adams? Super athletic, hits his chin on the rim. Great guy to root for. He just lost his mom this season. The Saturday before the Maui tournament, lost his mom. Great guy to root for this year. Super athlete. Kansas against Missouri in this game on Saturday, they shot 20 of 23 from the free throw line. They were plus 17 on the boards and got a big game this Saturday. It's going to be a beatdown in Assembly Hall against the Hoosiers of IU.
It's a good game. I like
got anything for me on the Jayhawks of Kansas?
Jayhawks are looking great. Big win against UConn a couple weeks ago. Big win against Missouri. Missouri's so usually there in the SEC. They made the dance last season. They're a tough team. This game against Indiana is fun because going to Bloomington, it's ranked like a top 10. Yeah, it gets loud. Okay, it's ranked. It might be a top 5, top 10 stadium to go to, everybody. For college basketball. So it's going to get loud in there, and you better believe these kids are going to want to storm the court. Okay, they want it. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't. I think Kansas is too damn good, but I do think it's going to be a closer game than maybe expected.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that one. Max, give me your thoughts on your Purdue Boilermakers, ranked number 3 in the AP poll.
Yeah, baby. So Purdue, we're back on it. All right. We beat Iowa the other week we were up at like 35, 40 points. It seemed like at one point last week against Alabama in Canada. The home crowd for Zach Edey, baby. I don't know. Why did we go with the Canada in the first place? Was it for Zach Edey?
It was a doubleheader. It was a doubleheader.
There's 2 games.
Just a classic.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, great game. Purdue was losing by like 12 points. I stepped out of the room to make breakfast, walked back in. Wow. We're down by 2 at halftime. I'm like, holy shit. Like, they came back.
Left the room.
Yeah. I'm making breakfast for my wife and my dog. Okay, excuse me. And myself. I gotta eat. But anyway, second half was outstanding. Oh my goodness. Let's hear some stats real quick. Okay. Obviously Purdue won 92-86. Zach Edey had 35 points, everybody. 35. Unstoppable. Only 7 rebounds. A little confused on that mark, but I don't care. 35 points. Oh my goodness. Braden Smith, though, I am going to say was the player of the game. Okay. Braden Smith had 27 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 4 of 7 from downtown. Okay. Alley oops to Zach Edey. Oh my goodness. Purdue in this game had 22 assists, 37 rebounds, shot 48.4% from the field, 44.4% from 3-pointer, and they were 24 for 28 from the free throw line. That's 85.7%. They looked incredible at the line. 28 free throws, go Breezy. 28 free throws they shot. Zach Edey keeps on getting hacked. Oh my goodness.
Speaking of those free throws, Zach Edey was 11-11 from the line. This was the most free throws for a Boilermaker without a miss since your guy, Robbie Hummel, in February of 2010. He went 12 of 12 from the line in a game. And lastly, for me on the Boilers, Edey in this game passed Robbie Hummel for 10th all-time on the Purdue all-time scoring list. Sorry, did you have that one?
I had it, but no, you're good. You're good.
My bad.
It's a good stat.
Robbie Hummel, guy that we cheered for, Indiana guy, was sitting at number 10 on the all-time scoring list. Now Zach Edey passes him. Top 10 scorer in the history of Purdue ball. That's wild.
That is wild. Incredible. Robbie Hummel was a lot of fun to watch. Met the guy. I got to meet him. Okay. He used to play against my old high school because he went to Valparaiso. All right. Lake Central played Valparaiso every year, twice. They always kicked our ass usually. There was one year we beat them, though. One year we kicked their ass, and then they came back and then kicked our ass. It was fun. A good little competition we had against Valparaiso. But
ass kickings, huh?
Yeah, a couple ass kickings. But let's just go ahead and just name some quick season stats. Zach Edey's at 24.8 points per game now. Okay, 10.8 rebounds and 2.6 blocks per game. Braden Smith's at 13.2 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, and 7.2 assists. Those assists went up. Those assists are going up.
Yeah.
And 4 players on Purdue are averaging at least 10.2 points per game. The other 2 guys, other than Braden Smith and Zach Edey, are Lance Jones, who's underrated. Oh my goodness. This guy plays defense and he can shoot the rock. He can shoot those threes. And then lastly, Fletcher Lawyer, who we all know can also stroke it.
Let's talk about the Clemson Tigers. Give a little love to the ACC Tigers because they made the biggest jump in the AP poll this week. They went up 11 spots from number 24 to number 13. Their best wins this season are at Alabama over undefeated TCU last Saturday in Toronto. Those 2 are their best 2 wins. Clemson, they're led by senior center PJ Hall, 6'10", 240. I saw this guy at Notre Dame 2 years ago. This guy is massive. This guy's huge. Shoulders on this guy. PJ Hall, he's averaging 20.1 points, 7.1 boards, 2.6 assists, and 2.3 blocks. We're looking at a potential ACC player of the year right now. Okay, those are solid numbers, and they here going into the conference play. Clemson, they're at 7-2 Memphis this Saturday. That's going to be a tough one on the road in FedEx Forum. What do you got for me on the Clemson Tigers, Max?
Not much. Okay, I see 9-0. Sounds great, but let's see how they do once we jump into that ACC. Okay, they got a tough matchup coming up on Saturday against Memphis as well. I think that's going to be a closer game at Memphis. Okay, that's right down the road in Tennessee. Should I take my bag and say, let's go, babe? Let's go, babe. Let's go take a trip to Memphis.
Check out tickets.
Might be cheap.
Big arena. Not much. Big arena.
Oh, yeah? Never.
Grizzlies.
Oh, they play at the Grizzlies. Where the Grizzlies play. Didn't know that. But yeah, it should be a good game. Clemson, once again, let's see what happens when they get to the ACC, playing North Carolina, playing Duke.
Right.
I'm excited to see. Oh yeah, Miami's coming up. Let's see how they handle that.
I will give respect. According to ESPN, they have a 34th ranked strength of schedule in Division
that's good.
1. So
very good.
Solid. And lastly here, last team we want to talk about here in the AP poll reaction was Miami, because they had the biggest drop this week.
Mm-hmm.
They went from number 15 to number 24.
Eesh.
Okay. According to Ken Palm, they have the 28th ranked offense, but the 118th ranked defense. Okay, they're not getting it done on the defensive side of the ball. Their best wins this season are over Kansas State, Georgia, and UCF. Yeah, that's really not saying much.
No, that's not saying anything.
They lost to Kentucky and got boat raced by Colorado by 27 on Sunday.
At home. No, not at home. Not at home.
Neutral
court. Yep.
Got their ass kicked. Miami, they got 3 guys averaging over 15 a game. I want you to find me a team that's going to say that. Yeah. All averaging 15 a game. Wooga Poplar, Norchad O'Meara, and Matthew Cleveland, the Florida State transfer.
Nice.
Miami is 16th in the nation, shooting 50.7% from the floor, and 3rd in the nation, shooting 42.3% from deep.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Miami?
I think they're a great team. Okay, I'm not sleeping on them. Final Four last season. I had them going to the Sweet 16. I might have had them in the Elite 8, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I'll have to check that.
Houston.
But anyway, not that it matters. Didn't matter anymore. But bad loss against Colorado, but that's okay. Get your losses out now, and let's see what happens once you get into the ACC. If you get a couple wins against North Carolina or Duke, you're in good shape. Okay, don't sleep on Miami. Miami's good.
Miami, the Hurricanes, they have 3 cupcakes coming up on their schedule before a big-time matchup against Clemson. Mm-hmm. That one, I want to see that one.
Yeah.
The Big 12 had the most teams represented in the poll this week. They had 6 teams and 3 in the top 6 with Kansas, Houston, and Baylor. The ACC had 5. The Big East had 4 teams, 3 in the top 8 with UConn, Marquette, and Creighton. And the Big 10, your university, had 4 teams. Solid. Solid. Let's get into our college basketball game picks. First game we want to talk about, Friday night. This one's a late one, 8 o'clock Mountain Time on ESPN2. We get the 5th-ranked UConn Huskies taking on the 10th-ranked Zags of Gonzaga. This one's going to be in Seattle, okay? It's a neutral court, but, I mean, that's a 2.5, 3-hour drive for Gonzaga, so that's going to be a home game for the Zags.
Yeah.
This is the Continental Tire Seattle tip-off. UConn, they're led by senior point guard Tristan Newton, guy we've talked about here a couple times. He's averaging 17 points, 7.2 boards, and 6.1 assists. Big East Player of the Year right now. This guy's balling. Gonzaga, they got 5 guys averaging double figures, led by big man Graham Ike, transferred from Wyoming. He's averaging 14.2 points and 7.9 boards. Max, where are you leaning here in this UConn Gonzaga game Friday night?
Call me a Husky fan because I've been picking them all year round.
With the Huskies.
I have been. I'm going with the Huskies, man. They are a great team. Even the loss that they had against Kansas, that was a tight game. It's not like they got blown out. That was a hell.
Might be the best loss of the year. Might be the best loss of the year.
Absolutely. Any team.
Right.
Dude, UConn is damn good. We always talk about teams that go to the championship and then they have that slump year because they had that hangover or all the seniors are moving on. UConn looks, if not better than last season. Look out for the Huskies, man. I don't know if I'm ever going against them unless they play Purdue.
Ooh. I'm right behind you there on the Huskies. I'm picking them in this one too. I think they're more talented than Gonzaga.
Absolutely.
I don't think Gonzaga has the next level NBA talent that they're used to. We talked about that with Michigan State. Same thing there. I think UConn gets this one. You know, it's a neutral court game. It's really probably a 85-15 Gonzaga crowd there. So it's going to be a good game, but I think the Huskies pull this one off. On Saturday, we got a big slate here. I think this is the biggest day we've ever had for college basketball. Just a couple games real quick that we're not going to talk about that I'm just going to put on your radar. We got number 2 Kansas at IU that we talked about. That one's going to be in the morning on CBS. We got LSU playing number 19 Texas in Houston. We got number 6 Baylor playing Michigan State in Detroit. Texas A&M is at number 4 Houston. Undefeated number 13 Clemson is at Memphis. Alabama is at number 8 Creighton. And NC State is at number 13 Tennessee in San Antonio. All those babies got to be on your radar. We're not going to be breaking them down because we got even bigger, juicier matchups to talk about. With the game of the week right here, baby. 2:30 Mountain Time. For some fucking reason on Peacock.
Peacock.
I don't know why. We got the number 1 Arizona Wildcats taking on your number 3 Purdue Boilermakers. This is the Indy Classic at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That's the Pacers Stadium. So this is a neutral court, but just like Gonzaga, UConn, this baby's really going to be a big crowd, big home court advantage here for Purdue. The winner of this game, in my books, they're number 1. Winner of this game is number 1. Arizona, they see 5 guys averaging double figures led by senior Caleb Love. Love's averaging 14.1 points, 5 boards, 4.5 assists. Your Boilers led by Zach Edey. You threw out his stats earlier. His 24.8 points are 2nd in the nation. 10.8 boards are 6th in the nation. And his 2.6 blocks are tied for 8th in the nation. Are you going to surprise the people of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast and pick against your Boilers in Indianapolis?
Are you asking me to take off my shirt and set it on fire, Colbreezy? Or are you asking me to piss on it? Just throw it in the trash?
I'm not a Boiler fan, but I wouldn't say to do that to that shirt.
It's a nice shirt. Okay. It's lasted me a long time. Dude, Purdue, I'm going Purdue all the way. Okay. This is a big test for both teams. I would say especially Arizona because Arizona hasn't really been tested yet. I mean, like what? Wisconsin, good game.
25-point beatdown.
Yeah, but exactly. We brought up the stats before the game. We're like, Wisconsin doesn't have any height. Like, there's no way they're going to be able to guard these guys. Okay, now you're going up against Zach Edey, Kaufman Wren, first, all at least 6'10". Like this is going to be this is a bruising game. There will be bruises being thrown. Okay, they're going to be putting some ice on those Wildcats. Also, the Boilermakers. Zach Edey's going to be scratched up and down his arms because the Wildcats got their claws. I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait for this game. I have to freaking get a membership or subscription to fucking Peacock for a week free just to watch this damn game. They did this on purpose so then people would forget a week later and then they would do shit. Oh, dude, I got to pay for Peacock. There's nothing on Peacock. No one wants to watch Peacock. It's the same thing with Paramount Plus. No one watches Paramount Plus. Fuck.
Well, good rundown on Peacock there.
Go Boilers.
This is a toss-up game. Umar Ballo, Zach Edey. Can't wait to see that matchup. Caleb Love and Braden Smith. Oh boy. This one's the game of the week, like I said. Looking at Ken Palm, the efficiency. Arizona is 5th. Purdue is 3rd. So we got 2 top 5 offenses. We got 2 top 10 defenses. This one's a toss-up. This one's a toss-up. But I lean Purdue.
I
go the Boilers. Excuse me, I almost fumbled myself.
Boilers.
I almost fumbled myself. I'm going Purdue. According to ESPN, the 9th ranked strength of schedule, where Arizona's sitting at 91st. It's a big difference for me. I'm going Boilers in the Indy Classic in Indianapolis.
Love it.
Next game we want to talk about here on Saturday, 3:30 Mountain Time on CBS, the Network of Stars. It's the CBS Sports Classic in Atlanta this year. The 9th-ranked Tar Heels of North Carolina. They're going to be taking on the 17th-ranked Wildcats of Kentucky. Both teams are sitting at 7-2. North Carolina, they're led by R.J. Davis, averaging 21 points per game.
Damn.
And Armando Bacot averaging 16 and 12. Kentucky has 6 guys averaging double figures.
Oh, shit.
Led by senior Antonio Reeves at 18 a game. Max, in this blue blood neutral court matchup, the CBS Sports Classic, where are you going?
I'm looking at these stats, and oh my goodness, this is a fun game. Kentucky's averaging 90.6 points per game. North Carolina's averaging 85. Field goal percentage, Kentucky's over 50%. Rebounds per game, they're right there. 38.9 for North Carolina, 37.8 for Kentucky. Oh my good. Assists per game, Kentucky, 19.6. I can't believe it. I think I'm going Kentucky. Wow. I can't believe it. I think I'm going Kentucky. I was definitely going UNC, but I'm going Kentucky.
This is the first one we're gonna differ on here. I gotta go the other blue blood. I gotta go North Carolina. I respect their schedule a little bit more here. They're ranked 41st to strength of schedule according to ESPN. North Carolina, Kentucky. They played Miami. They're only ranked 245th. 245th ranked strength of schedule according to ESPN. Kentucky. I can't respect that. I'm going Tar Heels in this one in Atlanta. Next game we want to talk about next Wednesday. We're not going to be recording again until next Wednesday. So we got to talk about this game right now. This one's on December 20th, 5 o'clock Mountain Time on ESPN in Madison Square Garden. We got the undefeated Baylor Bears taking on the Duke Blue Devils. Baylor plays Michigan State this Saturday before this Duke game. Duke is resting until this game.
Oh, wow.
Baylor sees 6 guys averaging double figures, led by freshman Jacoby Walter at 14.9 a game. Duke is led by Kyle Filipowski, 18.5 points, 9.2 boards. This is going to be a nice matchup, Max. What are you thinking about this one in Madison Square Garden? Baylor-Duke.
Oh, great game. Oh, my goodness. There's so many good games. Oh, gosh, it's so exciting. But Baylor is legit. I cannot wait to see Baylor in some Big 12 matchups, but I'll wait until then because Duke is a pretty good fallback. I'm going Baylor. I got no doubt in my mind Baylor's got this one. 6 guys deep who have double-digit points. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Yeah. According to Ken Palm, Baylor has the 2nd-ranked offense right now. They both have work to do according to strength of schedule. but I do like the Baylor Bears. I picked them in the preseason to be a Final Four team. On a neutral court in Madison Square Garden, I think they rise to the level of occasion. We don't know if Tyrese Proctor plays for Duke, missed last game against Hofstra. That's going to be a big factor if he misses. I'm going Baylor Bears with you here.
Heck yeah.
Also, next Wednesday, big game next week. We got to talk about December 20th at 7 o'clock Mountain Time on ESPN. This is the Jumpman Invitational in Charlotte. The Tar Heels of North Carolina are taking on the undefeated Sooners of Oklahoma out of the Big 12. This could be a top 10 matchup next week. Right now, North Carolina's 9th, Oklahoma's 11th. North Carolina, we talked about. RJ Davis is leading them in scoring with 21 a game. Armando Bacot sitting there at 16 and 12 boards a game. Tough stretch here for North Carolina, playing UConn last week, Kentucky, Oklahoma. That's a tough stretch for these Tar Heels.
It is.
Oklahoma, they play Green Bay this Saturday to get ready for this one. Nice little prep game. The Sooners, they're led by sophomore Otego Owe, averaging 15.2 points and 4.2 assists. He's shooting 69.1% from the floor. That's 5th in the nation. Now you're thinking, that's a lot of dunks. That's a lot of layups. This is a 6'5" guard. This is a 6'5" guard shooting 69% from the floor.
Heck
5th in the nation. Oklahoma, North Carolina, in Charlotte. Where are you going here, Max?
I can't go against UNC twice. I can't do it. I maybe I picked the wrong game, maybe, but I'm going UNC. I think they have the senior leadership on that team with Armando Bacot. RJ Davis has been there, and he's at 21 points a game. The bad thing about UNC is it doesn't seem like they're playing defense. They're giving up 73 points a game. Usually they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they'll heat up towards the end of the season, but I got UNC against Oklahoma. It's going to be a great matchup, though.
This one's in Charlotte. It's a neutral court, but really, it's going to be a lot of Tar Heels fans there.
Yeah, definitely.
According to Ken Palm right now, North Carolina has the 7th ranked offense, has a much better strength of schedule than Oklahoma. A lot remains to be seen about these Sooners. I'm with you with the experience with the Tar Heels. I'm going North Carolina here.
Heck yeah.
Moving along this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, our last college basketball topic. We got breaking news out of Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Uh-oh.
Juwan Howard's status as men's basketball coach at the University of Michigan is currently up in the air. Reportedly, he got into a heated exchange with strength and conditioning coach John Sanderson. The alleged incident happened late last week surrounding a practice. It was first reported that fists were thrown, but then it was reported that report was false. So we're not really sure if fists got thrown or not. We're not sure at this time. Sanderson did not travel with the team to Iowa on Sunday and also filed an HR claim after the incident. Juwan Howard currently has a zero tolerance policy that the university implemented after his bitch slap of a Wisconsin assistant coach in February of 2022.
And grabbing the head coach looking for a fight.
Grabbing the head coach, Greg Gard, by the shirt collar and bear clawing the assistant coach. Juwan Howard, he is coming off of open heart surgery on September 15th.
Oh, wow.
Phil Martelli has been the acting head coach so far this season. The university is investigating the altercation and has no comment at this time. Max, what do you think about another altercation here where it sounds like Juwan Howard lost his cool?
Man, Juwan Howard has an attitude problem, man. I don't know what's going on with that guy's head. It's not good. Okay. I think he has very little patience, and then he gets aggravated due to his lack of patience. If I'm not mistaken, I still don't think he talks to Chris Webber after Chris Webber called a timeout for Michigan back in the freaking 90s.
Damn.
Move on, bro. You guys were a team. You made a mistake. Move on. But nope, not friends anymore because he called a timeout. Juwan Howard's got an attitude problem, man. That's all I gotta say. He's a bad influence for kids at the collegiate level. That's all I gotta say.
You're supposed to be a leader of men, a leader of young men, trying to teach them how to walk life, and definitely not doing that right now.
No.
Definitely has some anger management problems. The 5-5 Wolverines, pretty average this season. It's an awkward situation right now from a coaching perspective. You got Juwan assisting from the bench while Phil Martelli is the head coach. Now, Juwan's not healthy enough to take the full reins, but yet he was healthy enough to get ejected at halftime in his third game on the bench against Texas Tech. His third game back, sitting on the bench. He gets so worked up that somehow he gets ejected at halftime of this game. That's ridiculous. Man, you just had open heart surgery.
Yeah.
Gotta relax.
Blood pressure is up. It is probably not safe for him to be on the court.
Let's not forget, a couple of years ago, he had to be restrained from going after Mark Turgeon, the Maryland head coach. So this is now three big time incidents for Juwan Howard at Michigan. You know, he was super emotional getting the head coaching job, coach of the year in his first year. Really has spiraled downhill. You know, he acts this way in public. I hate to see how he acts behind closed doors. Right now, the Michigan coaches, they're either fighting or they're stealing. You know, Jim Harbaugh stealing signs. At this point,
nice.
At this point, we can only speculate on why things got heated. We're not sure. Going to find out more information. Right now, Juwan Howard, zero tolerance policy. That tells me he's out. What do you think, Max?
Zero tolerance means, well, exactly what it says. Yeah, I think that means bye-bye. Unless, you know, the higher up, the athletic director has patience.
So I'll tell you this: they went above the athletic department. This is now a university issue. They went above the athletic department on this one.
Bye. Yeah. Just have what's his name, Martelli. Just have Martelli finish out the season. He's not a bad coach. He was a head coach at
St. Joseph's.
St. Joseph's, yeah. So he's not a bad coach.
Jameer Nelson, Delonte West, that undefeated number 1 seed season.
I remember that. Damn.
Let's move along here. This week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, finish up with some NFL talk. It's a light week here for us with the NFL. Only 2 segments for you. You know, we apologize, but right now our focus is turning into college basketball. But it is the first week of the fantasy playoffs, Max. I want to congratulate you on making the playoffs in our league. We all know that I didn't make it. Okay, we don't have to get into a long story about it. You know, Jonathan Taylor queefed on me. But Max, I just wanted to take a second and congratulate you on making the playoffs again.
Thank you very much. Well-fought season. Everybody, this is how frustrating fantasy football is, okay? I'm second in the league in points. And yet I slipped into the playoffs in the 6th seed. Okay, yeah. There's 6 teams that make our playoffs, and I was the last guy that slipped in. And I had the second most points
at 6 and 8.
At 6 and 8, second most points. What the hell? The hell is like? There's what else can you do?
So competitive league every year that we have. Like you said, you were the 6th seed at 6 and 8. Last place was 5 and 9. So there was only a 1 game difference from 6 to 10. All those teams could have flip flopped. I mean, we got the top 3 teams sitting at 9 and 5. So it's not like somebody ran away with it. This is anybody's championship this year.
No doubt.
I'll be watching. This is also anybody's teddy bear date this year for the queef of the year. 50% chance it's going to happen in Denver, Colorado because of me and Wilson being in there. So that definitely is going to have most of my attention.
I'm excited to see that date.
In back-to-back weeks, we got more gooses to talk about.
Hey.
Embarrassing situation here where you start a player that gives you 0 points or negative points in your fantasy lineups. We've had a lot this year. It's a tight race for the Goose Wrangler in our league. Okay, there's 3 guys up there right now fighting for it. But we got to start with Gabe Davis at Kansas City. He goosed again last week. Jack started.
Lot of gooses from Gabe Davis this year. Oh, he is the goose king.
3rd goose for Gabe Davis in his last 5 games. In his last 5 games, he's had 3 gooses. In this one against Kansas City that Jack started him in, he had 2 targets. Gabe Davis is the wide receiver 40 in full PPR leagues on the season. This is a good one. Jack left Drake London on his bench, who had a career day. Drake London had 10 catches for $172.
Oh shit!
I got to look up. I believe Jack lost his matchup. Jackaroni did lose his matchup. If he would have started Drake London, things could have been different. What do you think about Jack's goose and Gabe Davis having 3 gooses in the last 5 games?
It's a bummer to hear about Gabe Davis. I was excited about him preseason. I thought that he would have a better season. Yeah, dude, I'm not even. That's a late rounder guy now. Oh my gosh. Josh Allen does not like him. It looks like Josh Allen likes to use his tight ends and Stephon Diggs and the running back. It seems like he passes.
Now that they've changed to OCs, they're throwing to James Cook now.
Yeah.
Another goose in our league was Dalton Schultz, one of your favorite tight ends. Now this is a goose that didn't happen in probably any leagues but ours. This is the 3rd time this season that Taylor Wilson has left a injured player in his lineup. Dalton Schultz was ruled out on Saturday, bro. Wilson, you queef, you fucking came over here on Saturday night. We're hanging out watching that Pacers game. Not once did you think about pulling up your lineup. Right now, he's the only tight end on the roster still. Dalton Schultz, only tight end on Wilson's roster. Tight end 13 on full PPR leagues on the season. What do you think about Wilson queefing in his lineup again and Dalton Schultz coming back from a hamstring injury?
I'm telling you right now, it would have been a different season for this guy if he would have not had these gooses in his lineup. Okay, he ended up with 6 and 8. He did call me out because he beat me twice, which also pisses me off because I'm like, give me a fucking break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, would you? But damn it, hey, I'm the one that made the playoffs. I'm the one that has more points than you, Queef Wilson. So regardless if you beat me or not, you're the Queef that has gooses in your lineup. All right, you lack a lot of goose meat. You go to a Chinese restaurant for Christmas. That's what you do, as you like to eat goose. So go and enjoy that, you queef.
Right now, Wilson's, excuse me, sitting at tight end 2nd for the Goose Wrangler in our league. Last goose we want to talk about is the Colts kicker, Matt Gay. He was at the Bengals last week. He missed a field goal and an extra point. Trevor started him. He's the kicker 8 on the season. Can you fire up Matt Gay moving forward in this high-powered Colts offense? And what do you think about Trevor getting another goose?
That's a surprise to get it from Matt Gay. Matt Gay is having a good season, and the Colts need him because they're still fighting for a playoff. So I would still stick with them in the lineups because the Colts kick a lot of field goals. Okay, especially with Jonathan Taylor out and whatnot. They're gonna want that 40-yard field goal.
Moving in to our last segment this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got our NFL's Week 15 Extra Juicy Dawgs.
Juicy.
This is where we give you a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end that you can fire up in your fantasy matchups. It's a smash hit because of a weak defense. Maybe it's a guy later down in your rankings that you can put in your flex sleeper. Right now, to update our My Buddy Mr. Tutty guarantees on the season. Max, you're kicking my ass. Okay, we're going by percentage. I don't know how you've done it. Every time I go back and recount my numbers because I think I miscounted. You're 14 for 19 on these guarantees this year. 14 for 19, 74%. 74%.
Thank you.
I'm 1 guarantee behind you, but I've had more bites at the apple. I've had more pieces of the pie. I'm 13 for 25. That's 52%. Okay. So you got me 14-13, but you got me big time in percentage. And if we just want to throw in Queef Sam, sitting at a distant third, 5 for 11. Come on, Sam, wake up, get back in this.
Yeah, he stopped. He stopped after like week 6 or whatever.
We started kicking his ass. He got nervous.
I don't want to do it anymore.
I'll see him Friday, but 5 for 11, 45%. You got a chance to guarantee a couple and get double digits on the season.
Definitely.
Give me your extra juicy quarterback for week 15.
All right, everybody. I am starting in the playoffs, Jordan Love against Tampa Bay. Okay. Whoa. Starting Jordan Love against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is ranked 29th against quarterbacks. Okay. Before last game they played against the Giants, that was a shitty game. He only had like 8.2 fantasy points. He had 23 against the Los Angeles Chargers, 25.9 on Thanksgiving Day against Detroit, and then 23 against Kansas City. Okay. This guy's looking okay. He's ranked 11th in our league right now. And can you believe it that Green Bay is pushing for the playoffs? Are we serious right now? I had them last. Well, I don't even know why I do that to myself with being a Bears fan. I feel stupid. I'm just stupid. Okay. But
every year.
Jordan Love's going to have a great game. They're fighting for the playoffs. The Green Bay Packers understand how to get into the playoffs. Jordan Love's going to give it all he's got. Fire him in your lineups, everybody.
The Green Bay Packers right now are in the playoffs. They are the 7th seed right now, sitting at 6-7. Jordan Love, a surprising season. My extra juicy dog at the quarterback position for week 15. You're starting Jordan Love in your matchup. In my Queef playoff matchup against Queef Wilson, I'm firing up Matthew Stafford against the Washington football Queefs. I just lost Justin Herbert. I really don't have a decision to make. There's a bunch of Queefs backups on free agency. I'm throwing Matthew Stafford in there against Washington. QB 17 on the season. You know, he missed a couple games. He only had 8 passing touchdowns through week 10. He has 11 in the last 4 games. Nice. This guy is on a definition of a heater. He's fired up over the last 3 weeks. He's had his 3 highest fantasy outputs of the season. He's only heating up hotter. The Rams, they're 6.5-point home favorites. 48.5-point over-under in this one is the 2nd highest on the week. The Washington football Queefs, they're dead last against the quarterback position in fantasy.
Yikes.
Big game coming from Matthew Stafford. He's in my lineup. He better be in yours too.
Moving on to the running back, everybody. I am staying with the Rams, okay, against this juicy Washington matchup. I got Kyren Williams.
Oh,
okay?
baby.
Oh my goodness. This guy might be a keeper in our fantasy league. You gotta be thinking about it.
I'd be pissed.
You gotta be thinking about it.
A guy that was a week fucking 2 pickup, man.
I know that's the worst. It's when it's a pickup and then he ends up being like a breakout player. Unless of course you picked him up, then you're like, oh yeah, sweet. But yeah. So anyway, Washington's ranked 26th against the rush. Let's talk about his last 4 games. Fantasy points wise, 22.8, 36.4, 18.7, 13.8. He's had 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns. And I'm guaranteeing my buddy, Mr. Tutty, this week against Washington, he's going to get in the end zone, whether it's a rushing or a receiving. He's getting in there, baby. Kyren Williams, you better fire him up. Fire him up. You might as well sit your other running back too. Just keep one running back in there. Kyren Williams will fill in both spots. Don't do that, but you know what I mean.
It was a hell of a pickup from Queef Sam, using Kyren Williams a lot this season. He missed 4 games, I believe, with an ankle, and still he is running back 7 in full PPR leagues on the season. Missed 4 games, running back 7 on the season. My guy from Notre Dame, let's not forget, ran all over South Bend a couple years ago.
Yeah.
My extra juicy dog at the running back position for week 15. My favorite player in the NFL, King Henry, baby. I don't think I've had him in this segment this season. I don't know, but I can't recall. He's playing Houston this week, okay? King Henry, He's hold on here. Because Kyron Williams is ranked number 7. Derrick Henry must be tied with him. Oh, never mind. Derrick Henry in full PPR leagues went up to number 4. Derrick
Heyooooo.
Henry, kind of surprising with the season the Titans are having
Yeah,
record-wise.
honestly.
King Henry had 4 rushing touchdowns through the first 11 weeks. He's had 2 in each of the last 3 games.
Damn.
They're 2.5-point home favorites over Houston. We don't know if CJ Stroud's going to play or not. Derrick Henry, he historically kills the Texans. He runs all over Houston. Houston this season, they're 17th against the running back position, but that's only because they're better on offense and teams are having to throw more to keep up. I don't think that the defense is better, but I don't think it's changed. If CJ Stroud doesn't play, the pace might be in the Titans' favor. King Henry, my buddy, Mr. Tutty.
Oh, yeah.
He's had 2 in each of the last 3 games. He's getting another one here against Houston in Nashville. This one's in Nashville, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're correct. Yeah. Nice pick. I like the pick. King Henry, you can't go wrong, everybody. All right, let's move on to the wide receiver. Wide receiver this week. I'm going Deebo Samuel, baby. Deebo of San Francisco. They're at Arizona. Arizona's ranked 22nd against wide receivers. Okay.
Sucks.
Dude, Deebo Samuel woke the fuck up. He really did. Okay. Last 3 games, 18.9 fantasy points with 1 rushing touchdown, 36.8 fantasy points with 2 receiving touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown. Hades 3-headed dog that game. And then last week, he had 34.5 fantasy points with 1 receiving touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. I'm calling on my buddy, Mr. Tutty again.
Deebo Samuel, greedy.
He's oh my goodness. He's just racking up touchdowns, man. Racking up touchdowns.
Wow.
I want to be a part of it. My buddy, Mr. Tutty. Deebo, baby.
Man, Deebo coming back from that injury, he's really juiced up the 49ers offense more than what it already is. That's great weapons. That's great weapons in San Francisco.
Yeah.
My extra juicy dog at the wide receiver position for week 15. I'm going to stack here with my guy, Matthew Stafford. I'm going Puka Nacua. I was back and forth between Cooper and Kupp and Puka Nacua, but I went with the rookie against Washington. Puka this season, he's wide receiver 10 in full PPR leagues. He's 10th at the wide receiver position in catches and targets, and he's 5th at the wide receiver position in receiving yards. But he only has 4 touchdowns. That's what's holding him back a little bit. They're 6.5-point home favorites against the Washington Football Queefs. 48.5-point over-under is the second highest on the week. The Salamanders, they're 31st against wide receivers, second to last. I'm getting greedy here with you, Max. I see Puka Nacua getting in the end zone, baby. My buddy, Mr. Tutty, for the rookie Puka against Washington this week.
Zach's going to be very excited because he has both of those guys in his fantasy lineup come playoff time. So he's really happy with you, Cole Breezy.
Sexy picks.
Okay, let's move on to the tight end. Our last picks here for the Extra Juicy Dawgs. Nothing out of the ordinary. I swear we talk about this guy almost every week. I'm going TJ Hockenson. Okay, yeah, I know. I've looked up and down the rosters, and I'm
tough
like
matchups for a lot of the big dogs. It was tough matchups for sure.
Yes. Well, he's up against Cincinnati. Cincinnati again is ranked the worst against tight ends. This is every single week. Right now, TJ Hockenson has 85 catches, 839 yards, receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns, which the 5 touchdowns, I'm surprised. I thought that would be way up. Yeah. But TJ Hockenson, this is a guy that is going to get 100 catches as a tight end, and that is remarkable. Okay. That is just a hell of a season. There's only a few tight ends that can do it. TJ Hockenson is another one that does it. So fire him in your lineups, everybody. I'm not guaranteeing a touchdown. Not doing it here. I'm not doing it this week. But you can guarantee 7-8 catches probably coming from this guy.
Yeah, you say that he could catch 100 balls. Him and Travis Kelce, probably the only 2 tight ends. Mark Andrews, maybe if he's healthy, but he hasn't been
this year. Yeah, not this year.
You've been attacking Cincinnati in this spot. I've been attacking the Denver Broncos at this spot because they're second to last against the tight ends, and they're playing the Detroit Lions this week. So I'm going rookie, my second rookie in this segment, Sam Laporta of the Lions. Right now, he's tight end 3 in full PPR leagues. Last week against your Bears, he had 2 catches, which is a career low, 23 yards, which was the second lowest of his career. Detroit wants to get him back involved. Goff's going to be better at home in a dome. 47.5 point over-under is tied for the 4th highest on the week. And like I said, those Denver Broncos, second to last against the tight end position in fantasy. Fire up Sam Laporta. I'm not going to guarantee anything. It's tough to guarantee tight end tutties. It's tough. So I'm not gonna get greedy. But Sam Laporta, fire him up. And he's a top 5 tight end going into next season, no doubt about it.
Is he a keeper consideration, Cobreezy?
It always depends on who else you have, but he definitely has to be in keeper consideration, being the tight end 3 as a rookie in Detroit.
Yeah. Detroit's looking good for years to come, and that's a guy that's going to be on that team for, well, a few years, no doubt about it.
Well, that'll do us here this week on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. We hit multiple sports because that's what we do here. We don't shy away. We hit everything. This Saturday, I just want to put people's alert on. We got the bowl game starting for college football on Saturday. We got huge college basketball matchups. We got a triple header in the NFL. Okay, this is a huge Saturday, December 16th. I hope you got multiple screens. It's going to be a juicy one. College basketball is really heating up, Max.
Oh, no doubt about it. Everybody, 3:30 Central Time. Purdue taking on Arizona. Number 3 taking on number 1. You got to have that on, whether it's on a background while you're watching a different sport, have a double dipsy going, have it on your phone, wherever you're at. You're at a wedding, put it on, keep it on the phone, put your earbuds in, all right? This is a game that you're not going to want to miss. But other than that, thank you, everybody, for coming out to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We had a lot of fun with you today. And remember, we're not only located on YouTube, we're also on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on iHeartRadio. Please follow us on all of those and help us out a little bit. Once again, everybody, we are 8 subscribers away from 200.
Oh, my 200. Goodness.
That's our New Year resolution that we want before the new year. So please help us out. Share us, show us. Please, we need your help, and we appreciate you guys.
Share us and show us off to your friends, but definitely don't tell your mama.
No, you don't tell. We don't need your mama's subscription. Okay. I mean, if she wants to subscribe, I mean, we'll accept it. But
sure,
she's probably not gonna like this kind of talk. You know, not her baby listening to this. She don't want to be you listening to that.